All right. Hey, guys. Sunday, April 9th, 2023, crude oil. Looking at the 4 hour chart because I think that presents the clearest idea of structure per Elliott wave, at least my way of seeing it, my way of measuring stuff. So, as you know, last week we had an amazing gap up. Like a $5 move in 10 minutes of the open. Amazing. And then the rest of the week it was just yawn. Good for scalping, though, which is predominantly what I am. I'm a scalper slash day trader. And where it bounced to was right to the 200 fib. I can easily see this as a wave three. And I can just as easily I can see it as topping in a three wave structure. So either one of those ideas would suggest we need more downside. And also there's a giant gap. So wouldn't it be nice if price kind of at least, if not filled the gap entirely, it'll get filled later on a corrective, even if it's a total bull city and you get five up and it didn't completely fill the gap. I think it fills the gap anyway on the corrective retrace from wherever it would top in five waves. So I think the gap gets filled eventually. It's just a question of when does it get filled. And so the way I'm viewing this, either one of these options requires downside. But being that it's a commodity and all, and being that it's crude oil, maybe wave three gets a little longer. Maybe if this goes directly higher after the open and early in the week, I'm just going to view that as an extension of wave three, in which case you're still looking for a pullback. Okay, so that's really the gist of what I'm looking at. And then just as a reminder, I'm always looking for clues, right? So to remind myself of the longer time frame clues, look at the daily, and I see this daily channel. You created the channel, you hit the bottom of the channel. It defines the bottom of the channel on that one. Then it comes up and tags the top of the channel. Then it comes back down and nearly tags the bottom of the channel. Then we just kind of go sideways for a couple months. Then you finally get it moved to the downside, but it doesn't. To me, it looks incomplete. Not just in Elliott wave terms, measurement wise, it looks incomplete, but also in terms of where it's at in this channel, it looks incomplete. But this does not look incomplete. Comes up and hits the top of the channel. So this is not where I take a long position. Okay, and then looking at the weekly, the technicals are bearish, continue to be bearish. Looking at the monthly, they're bearish as you would expect. So back to the nano now, super nano. Here's the gap up. This fat gray zone is a downside pivot. It's been on my chart for a long time, and price is just crisscrossing it. But the point is, this whole area is resistance. So price is kind of acting like it's running into resistance. And I mean, as you can see on my 4 hour, that's what I call this area, heavy resistance. It's been on my chart for months and months. And now here we are in it. And I've also put this sort of a smaller downside pivot. Well, both of these pivots are for downside. So the two parameters I'm looking at for shorts is below 79.50, let's say, is the first clue. And then below 79 even would be the second clue. 79 even is the bottom of it's where this gap to 79. That's the top of the gap, 79, and the bottom of my downside pivot is just call it 79.50. And then for the upside, my stops, because I am short, so my stops, I have two stops. One is 81.10, and the other one is 81.30. 81.10, 81.30. And my bias is to the downside. So who knows if I'm going to be right or wrong? Who cares if I'm right or wrong? I just know where my stops are. And I'm going to add to the shorts. If this price comes up, I'm going to open a short order, good till cancel. Just so if overnight, if it comes up into here, it's going to get filled right into this gray zone. Call it 80.83. I'll be adding to shorts right there. Not saying it'll do that. For all I know, it'll just blow right through. So I'll be adding to shorts that immediately get taken off. Just as my plan. So there you go. But I really think it's this chart that's going to tell the story. And if it comes up higher, I'll call it a wave 3 extension. And then look for a wave 4. And then maybe wave 5 is going to go even higher. But Anyway, that's the deal. That's what I'm looking at, and that's what I'm trading for. I'm just trading for this, really. My target, I'm trading for 77.60 on the short side. But I probably won't ride. If I'm lucky enough to get filled, or even if I don't get filled, if this comes down, an initial target just for a scalp would be 79.50. All right, guys. Good luck. See ya.